Welcome to another video from 254 Repair, and this one we're going to replace the glass only on a Galaxy S5. In this video we're going to cover the entire process from beginning to end on how to replace the Galaxy S5 glass without having to replace the LCD. If you are capable of using your phone and the only thing that is broken is the glass, well, this video will cover the entire repair for your phone. If that is not the case, please look at our other videos. We got everything from Galaxy S3s all the way to the newest Galaxy S6 at this moment. Um, we do make videos as soon as the phones come out, so please don't forget to subscribe. The first step that we're going to take on this repair is we're going to use our middle frame separator, and in order to do that we're going to have to put some tape on the glass since the cracks allow the vacuum to escape. So we're going to put a piece of tape on the glass, and then we're going to put the phone against our vacuum machine. Now, we are not trying to trick you. This phone has been repaired before, hence the black button and the white screen. So it's going to be a lot easier to separate this screen from the phone than if this was an original phone. So please don't take it as us trying to trick you into that this repair came out this easy so fast. Basically, this screen has been replaced before, therefore the adhesive is not as tight as if it was, or it's not as strong as if it was the original adhesive with the original screen. Yet, that doesn't make it impossible, and we're doing exactly the same procedure that we will do on a brand new phone, which is heating up the glass with a hot air gun and using vacuum to hold that screen in place while we pull the phone away. Again, it might not be as easy with a OEM screen that never been removed, but it's the same principle. As you can see, we got it separated, and the home button is not uh, stick to, it's not glued to the glass, so that's why it was so easy. That is not the case with an OEM screen. You will have to be very careful not to damage that home button, not to damage the LCD at the moment that you separate it. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the LCD. Oops, almost failed. We're gonna go ahead and remove the LCD and move on to the next step of the process, which is separating the glass from the LCD. In other videos that we done before, we have done a lot of editing on this one. We actually refrain ourselves from cutting and getting some parts of the video out, and what we did is actually follow the action, follow the repair with the camera throughout the different steps. The reason why we did this on this video is because the comments on the other ones, people wanted to see the entire process without so much editing. So please apologize us for having a 24-minute video when we usually make a 11-minute video, but we were trying to cover every single step. And if you do this for a living, you might want to pay attention to all the little details, like for example, the temperature that the LCD and glass need to be heated is 66 degrees Celsius. Once that is completed, and it doesn't have to be exactly 66, you probably can do it with 60, you can probably do it with 70. We set ours to 65, and sometimes it's a little bit off. So we're going to go ahead and adjust the wire to make sure that it's completely flush against the glass. And now we're going to go ahead and push that LCD and glass, allowing the wire to separate them. At this moment, we're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit so the video doesn't take too long. So let's do that. At this moment, what we're gonna do is go ahead and test the LCD, make sure that it didn't get damaged throughout this process, and we're gonna plug it into the phone and see if we get an image. Now, a little bit more, a little bit down this video, you'll notice that the LCD, the digitizer, actually is non-responsive while we are cleaning it, while we are removing all the adhesive that is stuck to it. We continue the repair even after we noticed that, and once we were able to clean it out completely, put the Oka and put a new glass, the digitizer worked perfectly. So that's another reason why we didn't do too much editing, because we wanted to let you see the process as it was happening and the little hiccups that we were having. So at this moment, what we're gonna go ahead and do is clean up that LCD with the nature alcohol and Kleenex. We're gonna fast forward this part of the process. It takes a long time to do this cleaning, approximately 10 to 15 minutes, and you don't want to watch us clean an LCD for 10, 15 minutes. After we test the LCD, after we clean it up and test it, what we're gonna go ahead and do is put it on our laminator machine. So that will be the next part of the process. In this repair, what we are using is OCA, optical clear adhesive, not LOCA, which is liquid optical clear adhesive. So in order to use Loca, which is a lot easier and less chances to ruin the LCD, because the Loca tends to sip into the sides of the LCD and create dark spots and eventually damage the LCD to the point that it cannot be used or the image is completely distorted, it's safer to use Oca. Oca is not liquid, it will not sip into the LCD, and it's not messy either. It's just a film of adhesive that we will be putting on the screen. The thing is that if you are going to use Oka, you're going to need a laminator machine or really good skills laminating that adhesive, and you're going to need a vacuum chamber and a pressure chamber. Now, some people asked in other videos that we done, can you do it without the pressure chamber? Yes, you can if it comes out perfect on the first try. If not, you're gonna need that pressure chamber. Basically, the vacuum chamber, what it's going to do for you is remove all the air from in between the glass, the adhesive, and the LCD. Then it's going to drop a press that is going to put about 100 pounds of pressure evenly distributed throughout the LCD, which is going to help the Oka bond better. Now, if there's any bubbles trapped there, that's where you're going to need the pressure chamber. And you'll see that in the next step. So as you can see, what we're doing is cleaning up all the impurities, whatever is left on the screen, and that is the Oka film. We're gonna center it, and we're gonna drop the laminator upper assembly, which is gonna suck that Oka to the top. And off camera, what we did it was just remove the plastic protector of the adhesive. Um, it's not on the camera, sorry about that, but it's pretty much self-explanatory. Just remove the plastic protector, and then we're gonna go ahead and drop it and use the laminator to evenly apply it to the LCD. And as you can see, in this case, It's almost perfect. There's a little bubble on the bottom, and it's not a big deal if you're not seeking perfection. But if you're doing this for a client, he's not gonna put up with a bubble. So that's why we're gonna go ahead and put it in a vacuum chamber and in a pressure chamber to get rid of that bubble and any other one that may form. So the next step that we got going on is we're gonna put the LCD on a frame and remove the second layer of plastic protectors of the Oka so we can glue this LCD to the glass. Now the function of the frame here is to make sure that the glass is center. In order to remove that plastic protector from the Oka, what we're going to use is a cutter, a knife, and we're going to get in between that plastic protector and the Oka, and we're going to go ahead and lift it up. Is preferable if you can do it in one single motion, because as you will notice on this video, at one point we're going to stop, and that is going to leave a line on the glue. And since we have the pressure chamber, since we have the vacuum chamber, that is not a big deal, but it can become a big deal if the line is, if the adhesive lift up, and then the vacuum chamber and pressure chamber are not able to get it out. So the next step on the process is the vacuum chamber. We're going to go ahead and put it in the tray and get it into the vacuum chamber. Now the settings on this machine, you need a vacuum pump that can get it a negative pressure of minus 96, minus 97 inches of mercury. I think another similar measure is 30 Pascal or something like that. And you're going to leave it in the vacuum chamber for 1 minute in vacuum before you drop that press. Once the press drops, which is set to 44 degrees Celsius, it's going to heat up the screen. It's going to soften up the Oka, and it's going to allow the bubbles to flow out of it as much as possible. And all this is happening under vacuum, so there should be pretty much almost zero bubbles. Yet sometimes it comes out with bubbles, and that's why we need the pressure chamber. So we're gonna go ahead and fast forward this part of the video as 4 minutes under pressure. Once the press comes down, and you'll see it in a minute or less. And all this part of the process is automated. So the vacuum chamber is actually programmed to keep the screens under vacuum for about 1 minute and then to drop the press for 4 minutes. And the temperature is also programmed into it. So like I said, we're gonna go ahead and fast forward this part. You don't wanna just watch this video for 4 minutes while this press is down. As you can see, that's the timer on the right side. Those are the minutes, and then in the middle is the vacuum inside the chamber. Now it's done. So the press is automatically going to lift up at 4 minutes, and it's going to release the vacuum. Once the vacuum is completely released, we can go ahead and take the screen. We're going to inspect it a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and put it on the pressure chamber just to make sure that there is no little bubbles that we cannot notice at this moment. Like I said, the client will notice them, and not only that, some bubbles will not be noticeable until the LCD turns on. So we're going to go ahead and put the screen in our pressure chamber, which is programmed for to increase the pressure to 150 psi at a temperature of 70 degrees Celsius and for 40 minutes. And again, we're not going to make you watch 40 minutes of the screen inside a pressure chamber. So we're gonna go ahead and fast forward that part as soon as we seal the chamber and we start the process. So the next part of this process will be to take the screen out of the pressure chamber and plug it into the phone and see if it's responsive, if there's any bubbles, if there's any issues with the image at all. We are not going to cover the part where we actually glue the screen to the phone, because if you are watching this or doing this for a living, you probably already know how to glue a screen. You use double-sided adhesive, and you make sure that it's completely um, well fit into the frame. If this video was useful for you, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Give us a like. We appreciate your feedback. And we're going to go ahead and let you watch the rest of it. And thank you very much. One last thing is we want to remind you that we constantly make new videos, especially when new phones come out. So go ahead and subscribe to our channel so we keep you informed of the latest technology and the latest procedures that are available for cell phone repair.
You know what I was thinking? Doing a freaking reality show about the shop and put it on YouTube. See if we get an audience. Like constantly record every interaction with customers.
Haven't you noticed every reality show that's about a shop, they never talk bad about customers ever?
Well, we will be the ones that talk shit about them.
There's a few that do talk crap because they're just like unreasonable, but in most of them is those two pawn shop shows.
Mm-hmm.
Hardcore Pawn Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Like their security like grabs people, throws them outside.
How many subscribers they got?
But they actually have a show on the actual like History Channel or something.
Oh, okay.
Same thing with that one show, Action Pawn, Action Star Pawn.
It's good.
Ooh, that is fine.
Mm-hmm. I guess it was the lack of loca and the lack of glass.
Man, I'm the man.
You are. And me too.
No, just
No, me too.
me.